Hello and welcome! My name's Heather. I'm a registered professional counselor, and we're gonna watch Love is Blind Season 2.
Sometimes I still feel like his second choice. Do some deep breaths. So to meet Jarrette's family as his fiance, for me, it actually means a lot.
So we've already seen from previous episodes and previous clips that she's still dealing with those feelings of insecurities, and she's already mentioned again that she feels like she was his second choice. Again, just with the filming of this, it's only in the span of a couple days, so it's normal that she would still have those feelings of insecurity, and she might just need some time or more reassurance or more evidence to see that Jarrette actually really wants to be with her. And so it just takes time. So just a reminder that everything that I'm saying in these videos are a complete speculation. I'm not in a session with these cast members. I don't personally know them. It's not ethical to diagnose them. The purpose of these videos is to use the events from the show to be able to talk about relationship concepts, psychology theories, and also communication skills.
Welcome to the family.
Oh, good. They seem surprised and happy and very welcoming. That's nice to see, especially since they didn't know that this was happening.
25 years later, we still together.
Still together.
Still together.
All of this to say, keep talking.
Communicate.
Communication is definitely key, and also the quality of communication is key. So it's not just talking about, surface level things or how many Instagram followers you have or, how often you go to the gym or things like that, but it's definitely having those deeper conversations and honest conversations with the person that you trust, and also being able to reciprocate and respond in a supportive and caring way to someone who is communicating with you, and not just sitting there and, kind of listening and just waiting for your turn to speak. Communicating, quality of communication is super important in a relationship, and honestly, just any relationships, whether it's friendships or with your family members. Communication is not something that's really taught in school, and I really wish that they would teach communication, and being able to express our thoughts and feelings in an open and vulnerable and genuine way, and being able to learn how to take care of someone who does share their feelings in that way. And that's definitely something that can be taught, it can be worked on, it's a skill that can be improved.
It would mean the world to me to be able to perform you guys' ceremony.
And it's so touching to see Jarrette's dad being so open and vulnerable and in touch with his feelings and emotions, and that he's not shy about crying or being emotional. And that's so important to see, especially for young men, to be able to see their fathers, their role models, be able to cry openly and be okay with that, not try to shove it down or say that they have to tough it out and not cry and boys don't cry and things like that. That is just really nice to see. And we can definitely get a sense of where Jarrette is getting his clear communication from. He's definitely getting it from his parents, and his dad is, I'm guessing, probably a very huge role model in his life, and to see his dad be very open with his feelings and in touch with them. We learn so much from our family, we learn so much from our parents, and we take that on when we grow up as adults. And that's also how we treat our partners in our relationships, right? It's because we're modeled what a relationship looks like. So this is a really beautiful example of that. And we also have seen examples of Jarrette's communication when he was in the pods, and just how open and transparent he was to Mallory and Iyanna about how he was feeling and how he's going back and forth, and also just like not getting defensive, as we might have saw with Shane, really beautiful example of his family's style of communication. Before I forget, make sure to give this video a thumbs up and also subscribe to help support this channel. Also, a huge thank you to anyone who's ever liked my videos or who's already subscribed or who comments on my videos regularly. I love when you share your thoughts or your biggest takeaways from my videos, so make sure to comment below and I will do my best to respond to them.
Is there something that I shouldn't do? Like have my back out?
All right, hold on.
What you doing tonight, baby?
Going to this spot called Persona.
Not the best thing to be distracted from having a conversation with your partner. I understand he's playing video games, but it seems like, they were talking about wedding plans, and now he's still very focused on playing the video game.
What you doing tonight, since you don't want to go with me?
I'm about to binge a couple shows and reading my book.
Oh, Bro, how many times I gotta shoot him, bro?
They're trying to have a discussion about their plans for the evening, and he's planning on going out and she's planning on staying in. They've had this conversation when they were in Mexico about their concerns of Jarrette being very social and Iyanna wanting to stay at home mostly and not going out with him. So it's going to be interesting because I think this is the first night that this is actually happening where, you know, he's going out and she's just going to stay in. And we see that Iyanna finds that him going out is a bit weird because it's a Tuesday. It's Taco Tuesday. I get that. What can they do to make each other feel comfortable? So it's good to hear that, you know, they're letting each other know what their plans are so they have a general idea. She knows where he's going. So what systems can they put in place so the both of them can feel comfortable? So maybe that means checking in with one another through texting or through phone calls or just having general updates of what's going on. Maybe it means for Jarrette to come home by a certain time that they both can agree on. There are ways to work around, especially someone being more social and more extrovert and the other person being more introvert. Again, how can they communicate that and how could they work together in order for the both of them to feel comfortable and also for them to allow the other person to have their independence and their freedom? Hopefully they're able to have some conversations around what that looks like. Maybe it'll take a couple of tries for them to figure out a system that best works for them.
He says he's going to make adjustments, but I haven't seen those adjustments yet. So it's like, okay, well, am I okay with living a life with someone who goes out all the time? So it's a worry for sure.
It could be especially worrisome for someone who is also anxiously attached, right? Because then you start to worry and wonder where your partner is at and what are they doing and who are they talking to. Not to say that she would have those feelings of insecurity or anxiety, but generally speaking, that is quite common as well. And it's definitely a conversation that the two of them would need to have because it seems like Jarrette is still in this mind frame of I'm a bachelor or I'm just dating, and that might look differently in terms of how he's spending his time or how often he goes out. And when you get married, there has to be some changes, and it sounds like Iyanna is definitely waiting for those changes. I'm curious to know if they actually talked about what that looks like. It's not to say that he can never go out or never talk to his friends, but it's more so, okay, well, how can we both compromise so we both feel happy and we still have our sense of independence? It's not to say that he has to spend all night, every night at home with her. But again, it's just figuring out what works best for them in terms of being able to move forward and being able to respect each other's comfort levels.
Black, you need like accents of color here.
You think so?
Just a little pink.
You can use a feminine touch. I agree with that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. This is really nice.
Wow, so it's great to see that Shake is just so open and welcoming. He's allowing Deepti to make changes to his apartment and he's really open to that. He definitely wants her to feel comfortable, so that's definitely a good sign. He doesn't mind if there's any changes and he even agrees with her. Yeah, it's a bachelor pad. It could definitely use, pops of color or a feminine touch. It's good to see that he's really open with changes in his space. Sometimes people can feel a bit territorial of their own home, especially if they've been used to living alone for so long, or if they've never lived with someone else, they might get a little bit territorial of what things look like and get very particular of how things should be in their own house. So really great sign to see.
You're good with raising kids in the city?
I think we have to have enough money to send them to good schools. You
gotta hustle. So we can only have like one or two kids then.
Yeah, that's good.
So it seems like they also have similar expectations when it comes to living in the city or the amount of kids they have. So it's good that they're having these conversations just so they're on the same page.
Watch this. Open curtains. So.
Whoa. It's nice.
Oh, damn.
Where's
it's
your
voice
comforter?
activated. That's nice.
I turn my heated mattress pad on.
Okay.
And I preheat it before I get in bed.
You like it hot in bed?
It's like getting into a hot tub. And I was like,
oh
ooh.
my god.
Actually, studies have shown that people tend to sleep better when it's a little bit cooler in the room. But I'm kind of like Shake there where I'm always cold. So I do have like a heater in my room and I need to have it on at all times because it gets too cold.
We didn't waste time with a lot of the meaningless stuff. Just from not being able to see somebody, you open up a lot of different conversation topics. You think you're just going in here to focus on finding a person, finding someone else, but you really end up finding yourself.
Wow, Shake keeps surprising me with how deep he can go with his conversations. I'm just still very shocked by how vulnerable he can be with some of the topics that he discusses and just how open he is. Especially just because, like, the very first impression I have of him was not that. It's hard to unsee the earlier pod dating Shake compared to now. But no, he seems to be very contemplative and very reflective of his experiences and also who he is as a person, and he's open to sharing that. So that's really great to see.
Is going to be there for you to maybe not relieve, but alleviate some of the stresses or make your life a little easy through that. If she's capable of, he or she is capable of
that's
that.
good advice.
Great advice.
The mom is giving really great advice. I mean, she's got decades worth of marriage and experience. It's really important what she said in terms of being able to find a partner who supports you and who can help alleviate the daily challenges or daily stresses that we may have in our lives. Because I feel that sometimes we expect going into a relationship or going into a marriage that because of that certain status that all of our problems will go away. And what's really important is being able to find a partner who can help support you during those times that may be a little bit more difficult. And that can definitely be a true testament to the foundations of what a lasting, successful relationship can be, as opposed to just, you know, the physical stuff and whether or not they're super hot or like have like muscles or whatever it may be that floats your boat. But yeah, have some of this stuff too.
I'm just not feeling necessarily the kind of like overwhelming instinctual attraction or animalistic attraction that I would want to feel.
So he's still struggling with his physical attraction to Deepti. I thought that he overcome that, but I guess not. I guess he was just feeling stronger feelings of the emotional attraction to her. I'm curious to know if these animalistic attractions is something that has continued on with that relationship long term, or if it's just an infatuation. And of course, in the beginning of those relationships, the honeymoon phase, everything is new, everything's exciting. Those animalistic attraction tends to be a little bit more heightened. It seems like he's wanting a relationship that's like that, but also has the emotional deepness that he has with Deepti. It seems like it's still a really big struggle for him, and he doesn't know if it's the right thing to continue the relationship with Deepti, even though he may be lacking that. Props to him for sharing that with his mom. It signals that they have a very open relationship, they have clear communication. So let's see what his mom says.
And she's a wonderful person.
And I do.
She doesn't deserve someone who gives her even 0.5% less.
Ooh. Make sure to give this video a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe for more analysis videos like this. Thank you so much for watching, and I look forward to seeing you in the next one. Until then, be kind and love yourself.